Yeah. I think that's a perfect segue into here in California. And I said this on NBC. Prop 36 passing by the margin it did might have been the most consequential ballot issue this election for California.
Yeah,
And I think
that was a huge win. Huge win for
I
us.
wasn't expecting it to win by that much. I thought it was going to win by like 20 or 30. And I was like, okay, 20 or 30, that's pretty good. But I want to double check. What was it? Prop 36. Right now it's 69-31. That is unbelievable to win by that much. And that was the most consequential thing on the ballot because I think it said to the people in power, like Gavin Newsom and the Democrats in Sacramento, we are tired of this soft on crime, progressive criminal justice system, and we are wholly rebuking it and telling you to get your act together. And it's not just this election. I think obviously Gavin Newsom, his ego was hurt. He said something at a press conference about, I saw the numbers and I couldn't believe what state I was in. And it's like, well, the state's horrible. The state is in bad condition crime wise. And he took it personally. I think he took it personally because he supported Prop 47. Kamala Harris wouldn't tell anybody what she voted on Prop 36. I think by her not telling anybody, she probably told us all what she probably voted. But I think it shows that we are not going to take it anymore in terms of this uber left progressive soft on crime. George Gascon was soundly defeated. It wasn't like even close with it. I mean, if you had said a former Republican is going to win district attorney of Los Angeles County,
Los Angeles.
it's just like, what? And Pamela Price was recalled up in Alameda County.
London Breed lost.
London Breed lost. These are a lot of things that people are just across the board and up and down the state are saying no more to like far left progressivism. Even in San Francisco, far left progressivism is not as vogue as it used to be. It's not such a winning thing. And I know Scott Wiener's crying on Twitter about it for the past week or so. But I think Prop
Which he
36.
did win. He was reelected, of course.
Well, no shocker there. But I think Prop 36 sends a huge message to those in power in Sacramento. And it says, we're not listening to the progressivism anymore. It also says to anybody who wants to run for these seats, assembly, state, senate, stuff like that, they're going to look at how you are on crime. If you're soft on crime, they're going to be like, nope, sorry, you're out. And it's going to force politicians to get tough on crime. It's going to force a lot of politicians to moderate their positions. I think this is honestly, that's the biggest win for California. Is outside of the obviously flipping how many more counties to red. I think this winning by an absolute landslide, decisive victory, it is probably the biggest win for Californians in this election cycle. What are your thoughts?
I have an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I know everyone's talking about how Gavin Newsom's going to basically be the leader of the Democratic Party now. You know, Harris is California, but she hugely lost the election. And Gavin Newsom was so against Prop 36 and he fought to get it off the ballot. He kept saying, we're going to come up with our own solution. This isn't a solution. This isn't good. Then he kind of just bailed and whatever happened to him for a few months. I think that the passing of Prop 36 actually shows how little influence he and Harris have anymore within the state. I think,
Yeah.
and I know that they tried to recall him again and that hasn't gone anywhere. But we didn't flip the majority of assembly seats this time around. There's hope for next time as long as we keep up this momentum. But I don't think that California is going to get a Republican governor in 2026. I don't believe that. Even if we have great candidates running, I don't think California will go that far in 2 years. But there is hope that as long as we keep up this momentum, that we will be able to, stop the supermajority in the assembly. Mm-hmm. And anyway, that's just my opinion on their influence. I think it's fading.
I would agree. I think, which for him is probably devastating considering he's licking his chops to run in 2028. And it kind of, again, it goes to the ego. He thinks he's fantastic and wonderful and everything he does is just the most amazing thing ever. But it does, to your point about, will there be, are we going to flip it to a Republican governor in the next couple? Probably not. Probably not. It's going to be a lot closer. I mean, look at Brian Daly. Brian Daly did the best of any Republican governor since Arnold Schwarzenegger. So it shows like he picked up ground where other Republicans had it. Now, if you get like a Sheriff Bianco or someone like that who's very popular, who's got momentum and stuff like that, I always think like you have to be bold here in California, and you can't kind of you can't be wishy-washy about your policy, but you got to go in there and be bold. And if you're going to run for a big office like governor or senator, which was my biggest critique about Steve Garvey, is like technically what a loser he was because he won the primary and then he just gave up on campaigning. But okay, so maybe you don't have a chance to win. You do have a big platform, though. You're running for Senate of the United States of America. Just like if you're going to run for governor of California, you better use that platform to push policies and reach voters. And you may not win this election, but if you pick up 5 points or more this election, then the next person in the next election cycle picks up more. Maybe you help those down ballots. Maybe you help break the supermajority. So,
Right.
it's really about like, it's just a matter of effort. And it's tough to ask people to dedicate so much of their life and hard work and sacrifice and put themselves through that stuff to essentially accept that they're probably going to lose, but it's for the greater good down the line. But it has to be done. Like, it has to be done where it's like somebody has to kind of take the ball and move it down the field a little bit more, and then the next person takes the ball and moves it down the field a little bit more, and before you know it, 10 years from now, you go, whoa, all of a sudden it's a balanced legislature, things are starting to calm down. Who knows? And then you look back and go, remember when California was a deep blue state and now it's a purple state? Like, now it's a battleground state? Who knows? But you gotta put in the effort. You gotta be a little bit aggressive about it. So
I agree.
Speaking of other propositions, just to give everyone a rundown. So Prop 36, as we said, is probably the most consequential. Other ones that failed were rent control, which I think we had predicted rent control would fail. So far, regarding our predictions, we were all right that Trump was going to win. I was more right than everybody else. I just want to point that out.
True.
Prop
It's true.
36, we were right about that it would win or would pass. Prop 33, we had predicted that it would not pass, and it did not pass. Prop 6, which I think we said it would not pass. And as people came out and analyzed it, I was reading an article about this, what we brought up, which is that it kind of was confusing, Prop 6, and the idea of like voting on involuntary servitude or slavery in the state kind of confused people to be like, why are we voting on this? I don't get this. So that failed. Prop 5 had also lost, which is lowering the voter threshold for approving bonds. I don't remember what we predicted for that. So, but in other yeses, constitutional right to marriage did pass. I think we expected that would pass. Raises minimum wage did not pass.
Finally.
35, which you and I, we discussed it, and we still kind of were, I still don't understand it. I voted no. Passed by a large margin. So
Which one? That was something to do with pharmacy payments? Whoa. I don't remember.
Prop 34 restricts spending on prescription revenues.
Oh, okay.
That barely passed. 50.8% to 49.2 barely passed. What were the
And
other ones?
35 was
The provides permanent funding for Medi-Cal. That's the one that
that was
the Medi-Cal tax is going to go specifically for Medi-Cal. It won't go into the general fund.
And that did not pass.
That did pass.
Oh, it did pass.
Hey, thanks for checking out the California Underground Podcast. If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you subscribe, like, share, review, comment, all that stuff that helps with the algorithm, helps people find us more. And if you want to learn more, you can always listen to our full podcast at Apple, Spotify, Google, all those different places that you basically find podcasts. Or if you just want to keep watching clips, you can check out clips here, or you can subscribe to our channel right here, somewhere in here.